Hi, I'm Nichelle, and I'm here in the Midtown Manhattan office of Youth Communication, which publishes this magazine. It's called New Youth Connections, and it's written by teens, for teens. Right now, several of our writers are working on a special edition of the magazine about the dropout crisis. Oh, Mitzi, could you tell us more about the editing process?
Sure. The editing process is a long process, and we start by brainstorming. We gather different ideas all together, and after that you choose from 2 to 3 what are your best ideas, and you start what it calls pre-writing, right without thinking, and then you go directly to story plan, and you're planning your story. After that, you go with your editor, and you start your first draft. And after your first draft, you just begin to edit it all over again, just going back and forth with your editor. And after you got your first draft, just go with the illustrator, and you create an image that represents your whole story, what it's all about. And after that, you have a proof reading, which means that all the writers are going to read your story and make some changes to finally you get your final draft. And that's basically it.
Thanks.
No problem.
Kicked out. His words hit me like a punch in the face. I could almost hear the sound of 3.5 years going down the drain. The biggest surprise was that someone would even report the video. Was I really hated that much at school?
I didn't know what a hookie party was at first, but they introduced me to the concept. A hookie party is when a bunch of kids cut school, go to a friend's house, put on music, buy beer and liquor, and sometimes even smoke weed. Basically, it's a party in the middle of the school day, while everyone's parents are at work.
I considered dropping out because I felt hopeless, like an underachiever. Even so, I knew deep in my heart that I was capable of succeeding. I just didn't know exactly how to go about it. I knew I needed a change. I wasn't getting anywhere in that school, so I decided to transfer to a new one.
I felt cheated out of my potential as I thought about what high school was for me compared to what it could have been. Until recently, I regretted going to my high school. This past summer, I went to a program called STEM, and I was around the students that went to the high schools I wanted to go to. They went to specialized high schools, and they told me about the resources they had that I didn't have. In my school, for lab, we don't have equipment, so we just read reports and we copy the answers. My perspective changed when I received acceptance letters from every college I applied to, including my dream school, MIT. This experience has taught me that life can be unfair. Sometimes you have to work harder than others to succeed, but that doesn't make it impossible.
So Alice, tell us about one of the reported stories in the paper.
Well, one of the reported stories, Many Ways to Graduate, tells of the different options that students have if they're struggling in school with a variety of problems. For example, if they're pregnant or have a child already, if they don't have enough credits to graduate, or if they've been at school for more than 4 years. And it also explains different things that a student should look for when enrolling in a high school, such as the school's attendance and performance rates.
Thank you.
Welcome.
This is where we see our proofs to get a better sense of what might be in the magazine later on.
I am reading the pages to make sure there's no mistakes or any errors.
Hi, I'm with Barry, and he's our latest model for New Youth Connections.
When my editor asked me to be the cover model, I said to myself, yeah, why not? It is a good time to make an impression. It's a huge opportunity for me. So days later, we started shooting the pictures. And it wasn't easy for me and the photographer as well, because it was my first time as a model. Acting angry was something hard for me. I don't know how to be angry for it. And yeah, as you can see, this is what we come up with as we took more and more pictures. I focused and This is it.
This special edition of New Youth Connections hits the stands in April. It goes out to hundreds of New York City high schools, libraries, and community-based organizations. It's also online at youthcomm.org. That's youthcomm.org. Thank you.